Hey, welcome to True DIY TV. We're sitting here at the Dig Publishing offices in Boston, Massachusetts with my buddy David Day, editor in charge.
That's right.
My
What's
man.
going on? All right.
David, thanks for having us here. I really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I know you have a really busy schedule, so thank you.
Yeah.
So you produced the Together Fest this year. It was the second year that you did it.
Yep.
And I was hoping you could kind of explain that to our audience.
Sure.
What it is.
Well, it was started, not in 2009. Together Festival is a union of all the smaller scenes that are in the city. I'm in a scene. Everybody's in a scene. Everybody has a genre that they love. Everybody has a party that they go to every week, so forth. And we just started to look around and realized that all of the creativity that was going on at each of these individual events was something that needed a bigger stage. We needed to get the city to notice and recognize the creativity that was at each of these events. Because at the end of the day, we all love to have fun, we all love to party, we all have great, we have great experiences in the club, but if we don't, bring it out of the club and show it on a wider scale, it's just gonna kind of disappear.
How'd you go about then basically producing a fest of this magnitude across so many different channels?
Well, the first thing is to get a team that can handle it. So we had our director of operations, Joe Grafton. He runs Somerville Local First. He's a community organizer. Alex Mignatis, our managing director, runs the record label. Knows about tours, knows about riders. Knows how to handle acts and bands. So then, on down the line, there was 12 or 14 people that started to work on this in last August.
So when is next year's going to happen? And next year, are you going to plan on doing any other satellite events or something before then? Or
Yeah, well, we had a New Year's party last year that really helped us get some money in the coffers to start, and we'll do that again. That was a big help. And as far, we won't present events, moving forward. It won't be Together Presents, X act, but we do want to work with promoters in the city, that share our common, love of community and help them get the word out about stuff. So if somebody wants to bring, one of their favorite acts and would like a little extra push, that's what we built the network for. So if they want to use it, we can plug them in. And it's already happening. There's going to be some events coming up, and I don't think they could happen without the festival as sort of a launching pad for a lot of these people. So
we noticed that you used sketch.org to book out a ton of stuff online for the viewers and stuff like that to manage their schedules of when they want to see panels and performing artists and stuff. Outside of Facebook and Twitter, what other tools did you guys use to help organize everything and bring it together?
Well, definitely Sked was great because it's so mobile friendly. We definitely wanted something that people could bring up, on their phones. And more, that's the way people are accessing information. So what really helped this year, though, was this company called Group Flyer. And we created these group texting cells. So the promo team had their own group text. The steering committee had a group text. The daytime events had a group text. And last year that was all done, first year, 2010, that was all done via email. And we had these email threads of 500, we need more people at X, where's, the van, blah, 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 blah. This year we did that all in text, which was great. It's just much more immediate. And it's kind of like using a walkie-talkie system or something. You can get people on point almost immediately to do stuff. We got the Twitter handle Together, the word Together.
Yeah, I noticed that. I couldn't believe it.
Which was pretty cool. We through the burner community, we knew someone on the inside that just kind of flipped a switch for us. So that was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and we had Flickr. We had everything uploading to Flickr. All of our photographers had Flickr. This year, DubSpot came in, they give seminars on production. They webcast. All their stuff was webcast Ustream. We use Ustream. They put us up on their website. Live at Best Buy had a stream. So there was definitely a lot of ways to get involved, even if you were stuck in your office. You know.
That was really nice.
And I had it streaming, you know, most of the day, and it was great. It was great. It was everywhere. Yeah.
It was together.
Yeah, yeah, it was. And one of my favorite things that would happen during the week is to watch the Facebook feed and see people friending people that hadn't met each other before, you know, and you could tell, oh, they were at that panel, that's why they knew each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they were, you know, oh, they, you know, played together last night and they've never played together before. Like, that's why they're friends. And like, that's totally what this is about.
You're seeing where the impact is after and post event.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And how it's actually, how the connections and the network is growing and kind of spiraling after what you've created.
Yeah, yeah, and the web just sort of gets stronger, you know, which is great.
So in this situation, I mean, how do you directly see the Together Festival benefiting or contributing to the local art scene then?
Well, I get, you know, teaching people how to use the tools, I think, is important. Giving them support, you know, in a community like creative community support, and then getting the city to acknowledge certain aspects that need to get better. You know, we had a great discussion about with a city councilor on the panel called Free Boston that looked at some of the issues that Boston struggles with and has always struggled with, and how it benefits in some ways and how it detracts from art and music in the city. So those inroads, I think we can, I wouldn't say it's a political thing as much as just kind of a, let's find cheaper studio space for artists. You know, let's find a way to show their art more often. I kind of see Together as kind of Atlantis or you know, a submarine, you know, surfacing. There's all this stuff going on, and once a year we're gonna like bring it all up. And now the city has to, and the city looks around, they're like, wow, look at all this shit that goes on. And then like it goes back underground or into the club or into the dark, but it's still there, and hopefully people, you know, support it every year. You know, we get closer and closer to the surface, and maybe, you know, 2014 will be, you know, Boston can be the city that it's destined to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you come up with the idea for this festival?
Myself and Mike McKay, who he's founded the Thunderdome parties that happened here for a while. He's moved to New York since, but yeah, I was working here at the Dig, and I had worked here, you know, covering electronic music or whatever, new music basically, for a while. And finally I knew everyone, I knew all the promoters, I knew all the DJs, I knew all the producers, I knew what kind of amazing stuff was happening. So I got an email together, and I had like 80 people in the CC, and I got my friend Mike, and he read it over. And I was like, do you want to do this with me? Like, this is, you know, this is crazy. Like, do you want to do this? He was like, send it, you know. And I clicked send, and, you know, that was that.
And that's where it began.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, you know, people got back to me. They're like, fuck yes, let's do it. I'm in, like, let's go.
Yeah.
My friend Joe was like, this is going to be a huge deal. Do you need help? I was like, yes. And, you know, the name, the logo, the idea, you know, was mine, but it just took on a life of its own. A lot of people, you know, kept it their own as well. You know, a lot of people took it to heart, and that was
great. I mean,
great.
It becomes like a collaboration then. I mean, it is what it is. It basically embodies itself of what you're trying to create, which is everybody working together.
Yep, and I definitely had a lot of people pushing me in directions that maybe I didn't necessarily want to go in, you know, whether it was like covering more of, you know, crazy like hippie-tronic, you know, jam-tronica, like, you know, that when you really start to look at that stuff, it's amazing what that scene's doing. So like, you know, and I didn't know them as much, so I had some friends introduce me, and like we got them involved this year, and you know, on down the line. It was a thing. And
Just to wrap this up, I mean, what excites you right now in the current music landscape?
Really, I mean, the XX, Jamie from the XX, like what that kid's doing is totally unique. Like he's almost like a Kurt Cobain character. It's just like, wow. Like he worked with like Gil Scott-Heron, which was crazy, but such a good move, such a good look for him. You know, the London, all the shit that's going on in London is something else. So we'll bring it all that here next year.
So look out for next year's Together Festival.
Yeah,
in Boston,
Together
right?
2012.
Together 2012.